Good morning, happy Friday. It's me, Bev.G.Star, and I'm running a project on behalf of Seed Sedgemoor, where each week over the isolation, the lockdown periods, we've been bringing you some creative inspiration each week to inspire you to use your time most effectively if you haven't got anything to do. Maybe you're home, you're on furlough, maybe you have some extra time on your hands and you just don't know what to do with it, and you're looking to be creative and you don't know where to start. Well, the beautiful people that are Seed Sedgemoor are funding artists and other creative projects in their area and community to do just that, to inspire people, to give them things to do, to keep their minds occupied with the skill, the gift that is creativity. So last week, I can't even remember what we made, but we made something. We've so far over the whole of the lockdowns, the two projects we've run, we've done one project in the first part of the isolation and lockdown, and in the second half we've collaborated it with the Christmas countdown, because we are now only weeks away from Christmas, and it's nothing more than exciting to make a homemade, handmade Christmas for your family, and especially at this time of life when we have so much time. So today, what are we doing? We're going to be painting or some seasonal trees, and I've chose to do a Christmas tree because it is the season. I thought originally I was going to do kind of an autumn winter tree outside, but I'm actually going to throw up a Christmas tree this morning. I'm going to get that painted. So let me tell you about a few things I have. I have a canvas here, but don't fear. I normally encourage you to use things that you have around your home. So if you can't get out to the shops on your essential runs to pick up a canvas, don't fear, because you can use a piece of card, you can use anything, a piece of paper that you have around your home. I'm just using canvas because I was lucky enough to have these canvases donated to me, so I could use them for the project. So I'm also using various chalks. So I'm using chalks, one today because to maybe outline my tree picture that I'm going to be painting in, and also because I'm only live with you guys for about 20 to 30 minutes. Morning Laura, I hope you're well, thank you for joining me. So I haven't got enough time for all the paint to dry, so which makes the painting that I'm doing a mixed media piece. So I'm going to be using some chalks because I'm lucky enough to have the chalks around my home from previous projects, and also some paints. So I've got the standard crafters green paint. Again, this is just making the most of my craft supplies at home. I have a green paint to paint in my Christmas tree, so green was the biggest colour that I needed. So don't fear. And I've also got some paint brushes and a little bit of water here and there just to clean my brushes in between. So should we get started? You want to see? I don't know if you guys at home have made a Christmas or done any painting, but I'd love to see it. We've also made up a community group for the creative isolations. So if you've done anything creative and you want kind of to share it with the community, pop over to the group and share it with us. We're always looking for people to share their creativity. So let's get started on this painting that we're going to be working on. And like I said, I'm going to be working with a few chalks today just because I haven't got enough time for the picture to dry in between the stages. So I'm going to start with the background. So if you have a blue paint, I recommend you paint the background a nice blue. I'm going to be using this chalk just to show you what I'd be doing if I had enough time, and maybe I will have time, but either way I'm just going to map out the picture. You could use a pencil also just to map out that picture of what you're going to do. I'm just going to do the sky, the background, the bit in the background. So let's do this. So I hope you can see. Let's see. So here's my blue. My background is blue. My tree is going to be outside, so I'm doing an outside tree. It's still going to be a Christmas tree, but we decorate trees outside for our gardens also. So nice blue there. And again, I'm going to do a light green for the bottom here. Okay, so this seasonal tree is just going to, again, like I said, be outside. It's so simple. You don't have to worry about too much about being perfect. I was speaking to someone the other day and they said, as children, morning Wim, I hope you're well, as children we can unlock our creativity very easily because we're not scared of judgment or getting it wrong, and as we kind of develop into adults, teenagers, and we carry on, we kind of lose our sense of freedom on the canvas sometimes. So don't fear that you're going to get anything wrong, because there's nothing to get wrong with creativity. It's just about unlocking that creativity, that confidence within you to just get going and move. So whatever you want to do in this world, make a step towards it. So let's start on the bit that we really want to get done. It's the Christmas tree. Okay, so I have my green paint. Again, it's I don't think I've used this paint before, so let's get it open properly. Just going to pull the top of this lid off. Maybe I should have done this and prepared this little bit off camera, but we, you know, we are all human, so let's get this paint open, if I can, she says. And I'm just going to tip this onto my my space where I can use it. So here's my green for my Christmas tree. Put the lid back on that over here. And let's get painting. So if you are feeling a little bit shy about drawing and then painting, or painting straight on, you can always kind of map out what a Christmas tree looks like, just like so, and then you can paint in the lines. I'm going to put my Christmas tree smack bang in the middle because it's what we're here to paint today. It's the centre of all the attention. So using my paintbrush, just dipping it in, so we've got a nice fair bit on there. I'm going to start painting that Christmas tree on here, just like so. Here's the rough shape. It's kind of, you have these kind of triangle shapes on the Christmas tree, very, very clear. Here we go, so just mapping that out. I hope you can see, guys. So just mapping that Christmas tree out here. It's a pretty tree. It's ready to be decorated. Just going to paint that in. And then I'm going to spend some time decorating the tree very shortly. So just paint your tree to what you think you would like it to look like. There's no trees that are ever the same, but just have faith. Also be a little bit experimental, you know. If you use kind of these brush strokes, it looks like the foliage on the, you know, the branch, the natural materials that you see on the tree. So let's just carry on painting in your tree. So you don't have to rush this. It can take all day if you want to. If you're using paint, don't forget you're going to want it to dry when adding other colours onto it. So don't fear. Sometimes art can't be rushed. It's not something well, you can do it in half an hour. Sometimes it can take you hours. Sometimes it can take you days. It can take you weeks. But it kind of depends on how long you want to spend on it, really. So here's my tree. Just making it nice and easy. Not overcomplicating it. This is a Christmas tree shape. Can you see that on the camera? Yes. And you just keep looking at it. Decide that you want to go a little bit thicker here and there, just like so. Wonderful, wonderful. Now my Christmas tree is outside, so maybe on my Christmas tree there's going to be a little bit of snow. I think I'm going to go with that. My Christmas tree is in. Now this is a lonesome Christmas tree, but don't fear, he might have friends in the background over here. So what I'm going to do is just thin out my paintbrush by just neatening it up, nice little. I'm just going to draw some very faint Christmas trees in the background here, so my Christmas tree isn't lonely and he's not on his own, because this is the Christmas tree that we're working on, the one in the foreground. The one that's the biggest one is because it's closer to us, but he's also in a forest of friends. So just like that, I'll come over this side, get some Christmas trees in the background over here, just what this. They're just growing naturally, just like so. Wonderful. So if you're watching today and you're joining me, my name's Bev.G.Star. I'm an artist and workshop host. Maybe you've just joined me or never seen Creative Isolations before. Please pop your name or say hi on the video feed below. We're always looking for our creative community to grow. So pop your name and say hi, tell me where you're watching from and maybe who you're watching with. If you're not watching this live, that's absolutely fine. These videos again are just to inspire you guys to be creative. Okay, so here's my Christmas trees in the background. Can you see them? Does it make sense to you? There we go. And also maybe a little bit of grass down the bottom here. So feel free to study what it actually looks like in the outside. These brush strokes kind of leave a foliage, like a natural leaf there. Okay, here we go. So there's my green Christmas tree. Can you see that very clearly? There's my main purpose. Now it's been snowing in this season. I don't know where we are in the world, but it snowed here. So let's get some snow on this. Should we do the decorations? We'll do the snow first because that's the bit that I want to do. So I haven't got a board, so I'm just using a piece of paper to squirt my paint on, ready to take to the thing. So here's my white paint, this is my snow. I'm just going to dip that in, just dip that in like that, and then I'm going to start kind of making these snow. It's been falling overnight and it's just fallen on the outside of my tree here. It's kind of rested. Can you see that? It's just rested where it's fallen overnight. It's quite thick. We like snow. Is it going to snow this year? Does anybody know? I don't know. I'd be excited. We all like snow because it's something we don't see every day. Okay, just get the little snow on those branches here. It's just been falling. Wonderful. It's cool. Don't worry about getting it perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. Well, it's perfect to a standard that you wanted to get it to, but just remember, sometimes you just make art for the sake of it, the creativity, the purpose, the sense. And then in the background here, these trees that I've got in the background here, they've also obviously outside, so what's going to happen is they're going to get snow on them. I just realised I'm talking that way, so you might not be able to hear me clearly, so please let me know if there's any problems with me talking away from the camera. Maybe I should have moved you around with the camera, but here we go. So here's my seasonal tree so far. Now this tree, although it's in the wild, it's close to somebody's home. It's, like I said, it's been snowing, and those wonderful people that live close decorated the tree. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some decorations, maybe some lights on the tree. What I've got here is a selection of different colours in these small little tubes, and I'm just going to use little dots, and I'm going to dot them all over my tree to represent beautiful Christmas lights. Should we get that done? Okay, we've got some purple, we got some blue. I haven't used these paints in a while, they don't seem to be coming through. Let's try and get them working. Okay, so again, these are gifted to me. Most of my craft things are. So let's get them worked on. So here I've got a little bit of purple here. What I'm going to do with the end of my brush, I'm just going to dip it in. It's not very clear, is it? Just going to dip it in here. And I'm going to use that little blob on the end as the Christmas tree lights. I'm going to pop them all over, just like so, all different colours, because my Christmas lights are multicoloured and I want them all over the place. Doesn't seem to be working too well for me though, so let's come up with another idea. Okay, I'm going to use my fingers. I'm going to be really creative, because what I've done is I'm working on the spot. My initial idea didn't work. I'm just going to pop my finger on it. Maybe this is a really good one for the kids. And I'm literally going to use this purple paint and I'm going to dot it straight onto the picture over here. Oh, that's much better. Much better than the paintbrush idea. I'm just going to pop it on. And these are going to be my lights. And maybe you want to add some baubles, or you want to add some stars. Who knows? But this is a beautiful tree, and it's seasonal and it's right ready for the season. Let's get some other colours on there. I have some blue here. Same again, a little bit of finger painting. Who knew? I love finger painting. It reminds me of being a child, like free. And like I was saying earlier, as children, we're so experimentational, but as adults we can become a little bit more conscious, and we carry kind of the stopping. We stop being as creative, fear of judgment sometimes, but we forget to just remember that being creative is about expression, it's about freedom, and just enjoying the process. Now I could probably enjoy this process, I could probably paint my Christmas trees all day long, but I've only got about 20 minutes to a half an hour with you, so let's get that done. I'm going to put some yellow on to bring out the other colours to make it pop. How's it looking, guys? What are you thinking? Good morning to those of you that are just joining me on Bev.G.Star, and I'm running a project on behalf of Seed Sedgemoor. If you don't know what those guys do, please check them out. Lucky for me, I've got wet wipes on hand, so I'm just going to clean my fingers off before I go on with the next colours. I'm really pleased with it so far. You never quite know how these things are going to turn out, especially when you're running live workshops, tutorials for people, because you want to please people and you want to inspire them, so you also want to give them something that they might want to paint. And here is my yellow going on here. Let's see if we can bring this forward a little bit so you can see it a little bit clearer. That was my guitar, I'm so sorry. Things never go to plan, right? Here we go. So we're just going to carry on putting those lights on after the the big banging noise of my guitar hitting on the floor in the background as I move the table there. But it's okay. Okay, so what you're working on is those Christmas tree lights, maybe some baubles, some colours. You can see much better now it's closer. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to work on the Christmas star. So this, although it's a wild Christmas tree, the family that live close to it have decided that they want to decorate it, and they're going to put a star on top. Now, have you done your Christmas tree yet? Have you? Are you one of the people that's ready to go for Christmas? We're not quite. We have a Christmas tree in our home, but we haven't quite decorated it yet. So we're going to wait for the family get together this weekend with my children. Okay, so at the top of the Christmas tree here, I'm going to work on the, I don't know, what do you call it? The kind of the bit that everybody loves to do. It's the tradition. A fairy or a star at the top of the Christmas tree, just like that. The great thing with paints, if you get it slightly wrong, you can correct it later. You can bring it back. Now, how cool does that look? Can you see? Wonderful. Okay, here's my Christmas tree. Here's my star, just finishing it off a little bit neater. And also I have a little bit of this white paint, the where the snow fell. It also just rested on this star a little bit, just like that. So tell me if you're going to be making a Christmas tree or a seasonal tree painting. I'd love to see it. I've decided to go straight in with doing a Christmas tree. I'm just going to top up the snow that's fallen. The snow's really thick. I don't know what part of the country my tree is in, but it's one that snows often. Snow's on the ground over here. A little bit of snow here and there on the grass. And you can spend hours just topping this up because it's going to take a while to dry depending on the paints that you use. So you can keep coming back and you can top it up, you can fill in the background, you can make it more thicker. You can even put some clouds in the sky, you know. What's the weather like? You could even do a winter sunshine or a moon. Maybe I should put a moon in here. You know, you think about the background as well as you do the foreground, because obviously the foreground is our tree, but it's not just a tree, it's a tree that's in a location. So in the location there's a moon, and we have some clouds over here, we have our Christmas star that's on top there. We have our finger painting Christmas lights that I've popped on, so I'm going to do some more of those. I'm going to find a red, because I like red baubles and red lights on my Christmas tree. Kind of red is always the festive colour that we're working with, isn't it? So let me just work on that again. Just squeezing the paint off slightly. Putting it on and then just dabbing it on the Christmas festive season, the seasonal tree that is Christmas in my home. We celebrate Christmas. We're happy at Christmas time. We can get together. I'm looking forward to my Christmas. It's a great time for me to shut off the rest of the world and be with my kin, my wonderful people, the people that I choose to have around me, and so much so more than this year than any other year, because well, it's been a mad year. 2020 has been a year where we've kind of gone in on ourselves and kind of you know, done a lot of reflecting. We've had a lot of time on our hands. I use that time to be creative. I use that time to share my creativity and just generally be in the moment. So that is, to the best of my ability, the seasonal tree that I've painted. So let me just take that off a second and we'll talk you through the steps that we did today. So let me get this off my easel a second and then we'd be good to go. Ta-da! That is the quickest Bev.G.Star Christmas tree you're going to see this year. So if you remember what I did, I used a chalk for the background just to get it done quickly, because we're not here for a long time this morning, so I wanted to make sure I could keep the background dry. So we did chalk sky, we did a chalk grass at the bottom here, and we then used the some green paint to outline and then paint in our seasonal tree. I did kind of some few thin trees in the background here to make it more of a scenery. I did some grass at the bottom here, and then I worked myself on the tree. So what I did is I used the paints, I added some snow with some white paint. You see the snow fell thickly wherever this tree is located to in the world. And I also then did a little bit of finger painting. I squeezed the paint onto my finger, and then I produced these cool little lights or baubles or decorations, you know, and you can really go to town. You could well, depending on your style and your creativity, you could, you know, you could get the details a little bit more clearer. Maybe you want to have, maybe you do have some extra time on your hands, and you can do that. But I'm very, very pleased with that. I'm going to show my children later, because my children tend to show me their paintings quite often because they're at school most days and they have access to materials at home, so they're always showing me their artwork. And this, I can pleased to say, is a piece that's made by me. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know what to do, you know, to get creative. I'm not here to show you how to find your style. I'm just here to show you some inspiration of what you can do as you're reaching for the skill that is creativity. So please check out Seed Sedgemoor. Please go visit those beautiful people and all they do, because they are doing some wonderful projects at the minute within their community. Also, next week I think we're making reindeer food, and then the week after we're making some Christmas crackers. I can't remember which way around, or whether it's Christmas crackers first or it's reindeer food, but I'll be shouting about those creative tutorials during this week. But I believe I've done what I've promised you that I do today, which is bring you a how to paint a seasonal tree, and I believe it's now down to you guys to go out and have the most creative day you can make yourself. So without further ado, my name's Bev.G.Star. Please check out my work. Please also check out the work of Seed Sedgemoor and the other artists they support. Any questions? I'm going to be online for most of the day. If you need a hand on where to start with your creativity, get in touch. But for now, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my time here is done. Have a magnificent Friday and a wonderful weekend ahead. All my love, Bev.G.Star. Bye.